We were told to expect a blockbuster from Sally Yates, the former acting attorney general. And to me, we got just what we knew we would get, which was, I mean, everything we knew already. She just reiterated. We heard from her for the first time. But I want to skip ahead maybe here and talk about what she admitted, which to me is the headline. Against the decision of the Justice Department, who decided that the executive order signed by Donald Trump regarding the travel ban was constitutional, and correct me if I'm using the wrong language, she decided not to defend it because she didn't think Donald Trump's intent would meet constitutionality, which is an extension of what we've seen from these courts, which is new legalese. Now, what have I said that's wrong?
No, you're absolutely right, Steve. What the Justice Department reviewed it, the Office of Legal Counsel, which is like the lawyer's lawyer at the Justice Department, and they decided that it was legal, that it passed muster. Now, understand, the Justice Department's job is not to say whether it's good policy, and they may think it's shameful policy, but their job, strictly speaking, is it legal and defensible? And the answer to that question is very straightforward. It's yes. And if there's a reasonable argument for defending a statute, the Justice Department is supposed to defend it unless the president decides that it's not going to be defended because he doesn't think it's constitutional. The Justice Department works for him, and they owe the government and the public, who the government actually works for, the best legal representation and the best legal argument that can be made for a constitutionally valid legal position.
So would you say she had, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what are the right words? She had no business not deciding not to defend it, or she had no legal right to decide not to defend it?
Steve, I'm going to say the same thing I said at the time, which is that she was insubordinate, and she did not have a good faith legal basis to not defend the statute. Now, she claims that she had a constitutional objection to it. She personally did. She didn't say that at the time, by the way. She said that it wasn't just, but she wasn't making the constitutional claim at the time, and probably because she knew OLC had basically signed off on it. But she made herself basically the court rather than the Justice Department, and decided that in her eccentric view of the Constitution, it would be that the executive order was not defensible. And she now claims to have been vindicated because left-leaning courts that haven't followed the law came out the same way that she did. So, you know, look, ultimately, I guess this will all get resolved by the Supreme Court, and you know, we'll get a better sense of what a final statement of the law is by the United States courts. But what Sally Yates owed the government and the Trump administration and the Justice Department was to give the best defense of this statute that was legally possible to give.